All right, so before we jump into this video, I just want to keep it a buck with everybody. The pipeline for the anti-woke grifty space here on YouTube is slowly drying up. And it's a weird situation. I've gone through and looked at a few channels before I made this video, and I'm going to work the numbers out for the next podcast, the next shellcast, so we can talk about it. But it looks like we're seeing a net negative in views for these guys compared to what they were getting like a couple years ago. And I have some theories about it very quickly before we start watching this. I think what's happening is the people that were locked into this are doing victory laps because they feel like woke is going away, DEI is going away. So they feel like they've won a little bit, and they're less concerned with watching and consuming this content over and over and over again, because there's not a lot to be mad about when you're making victory laps. And so these guys are struggling, like the Fandom Menace, FNT, Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic. These channels are sort of realizing that they have to get more and more outrageous in order to keep people around, and they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. So it's going to come to the point where it's just black person, woman, gay person, trans person, create narrative. Because there's not a lot. The Fantastic Four movie has sort of flown under the radar for a lot of these guys because there wasn't a lot to attack. So any little thing that comes out now, they're going to latch onto, and they're going to try and ride this all the way to the box office. The movie is right around the corner. So they're getting into this very, very late. So it's not really them trying to tank the movie at this point. They just want to make money off of whatever they can before the movie comes out. Because I don't think they believe the movie is actually going to tank. I think they're just saying this because they want to grift off of it. There's more to say there, but let's go ahead and start watching the video.
And just like that, another Hollywood star destroys a franchise. What's the moment you actually...
That's so hyperbolic. Destroys a franchise. It's just obvious outrage grift. It's so fucking obvious.
George and because it's Anna, also knows that Star Wars going, man, I have never seen excitement tank so fast for a movie before. Like, it was, everyone that I knew was pretty much excited. It was almost a unanimous excitement for this new Fantastic Four movie.
Well, you couldn't tell because you guys weren't making endless videos about it. That's another ding, ding, ding obvious thing. Like, if you say everyone was excited about this movie, where were the endless videos talking about how good this movie was going to be? You have to show me that the excitement has died in your community somehow, some way. If I were to go and look at your channel or Ryan Cannell's channel or any channel that talks about this stuff, there's no endless amount of positive videos about the Fantastic Four. So that's disingenuous. It's just disingenuous because your first major video about this movie is on this. And by the way, this is from John F. Trent, one of the most propagating individuals in this space. He's not as charismatic as the rest of these guys. He's kind of a dull, like a frog on a log type dude. Like, he's just dull. Nobody cares about him. He's only important because he writes shitbait articles like this. He just propagates shit. So that's the only reason he's even popular. But he's a garbage human being. He's just a garbage person.
And then we have Hollywood actresses and actors opening their mouth, and it honestly looks like this movie, what we got from the trailer was a full-on bait and switch, and it's the whole get woke, go broke.
How is it a bait and switch? Are you going to explain how it's a bait and switch? So what in that trailer told you that it was a not woke movie? That's not what bait and switch is. You don't even understand what bait and switch is.
This thing is gonna bomb. Like, Vanessa Kirby confirms Fantastic Four First Steps explores gender politics with Sue Storm. Really? Because that's what every comic book fan, every Fantastic Four fan wants.
Well, this is a headline written by John F. Trent. Why don't you read what she says to see exactly how it relates to what John F. Trent's headline is? I wonder if you're actually going to do that. I hope you do. Let's see.
Right? Like, this just honestly proves they don't give two shits about the movie. They don't give two shits.
They don't give two shits about the movie. All right, you heard it from Anna here. They don't care. They worked really hard on making this movie. They've done so much promotion for this movie. They've gone out of their way to make sure this movie is set up for success. But according to her now, because Vanessa Kirby said something, no one gives a shit about the movie. God, it's so fucking desperate. These folks are so fucking desperate for outrage. It's so fucking funny.
About the characters that they're playing because they don't know anything about the Fantastic Four.
What do you know about the Fantastic Four? Are you a huge Fantastic Four fan? I mean, you've got a lot of toys sitting around your room, so you could be a fan of anything, really. But were you making tons of Fantastic Four videos promoting this movie prior to this one? Let's take a look. All right, so here's your channel. Okay, you got a Passion Project video, one Fantastic Four video, Gina Carano's Snow White, How to Train Your Dragon. You did a trailer reaction, so I got to give you credit for that. But you do trailer reactions to a lot of things, so that doesn't really mean much. I don't see any other Fantastic Four videos on your channel, so I would assume that you're not a massive Fantastic Four fan. So I find it really funny that you chastise this person for not being a Fantastic Four fan when I can't even see any proof that you're a Fantastic Four fan. So why are you so outraged about this? Why are you so mad about this? It's, again, laughably obvious that you're grifting.
The entire, like, I guess, core charisma, the core that holds everything together, what binds the Fantastic Four and what makes it so likable is the family dynamic between them.
So why does this make you think that's not going to happen? Why does her saying that they're going to explore things with Sue as an individual, why do you think that means that the family dynamic will not exist? Is that what she said? Or is that what you're reading into it to create this outrage?
And so, if you don't know anything about the Fantastic Four, you guys don't know what that is. So, Reed Richards is just stricken with guilt because he's blames himself for what happened to Ben. And, you know, Ben is a monster and he's angry. We got Sue that's trying to, like, hold the entire family together. And then we...
Right. So if they're exploring some sort of gender politics, gender identity with Sue, I think it has a lot to do with her being the woman in the group that is holding the group together. Right? That makes total sense. So if you're going to give her credit for being the person who's holding the group together, then that would mean you understand that there's a possibility that that's what she's talking about in her comments. Are we actually going to get to the comments, or are you just going to ramble on about all of this nonsense? Stuff that people could have gotten from watching, like, the other two Fantastic Four films that came out. Not counting Fan Four Stick. Talk about the other two from the early 2000s.
We have Johnny Storm, who's like, yeah, he's actually happy. He likes his powers. He's all getting the ladies. But guess what? Not only did Vanessa Kirby open her mouth and basically, you know, set fire to this movie, but we also got the dude that's playing Johnny Storm. Okay.
I love the homophobia in this tweet. That's always fun, right? Just subtle homophobia for no reason. This is so gay. The way it's being applied here, I guess because she feels like the character's being emasculated. So that's what makes it gay. Anyway, you never read the comment from Vanessa Kirby. We're going to give her a couple more minutes before I go find the comment, because I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But if she's just going to use the headline and not read the comment, then that tells me that she doesn't want you guys to know what the comment was. So let's see if she goes back to it.
Okay, so look at this. Joseph Quinn, who I don't know who this is. I don't think I've ever seen this kid before in my life, but he's going to be playing Johnny Storm. And he says, Joseph Quinn addresses how his portrayal of Human Torch will differ from Chris Evans' version.
I always love the fun little voices they give to these comments. Like the person typing that said it that way. That's always fun. Anyway.
Well, no shit. You're a completely different person playing the character. Of course it's going to be different. Here we go. He would. Oh, I have to read it in this voice because I've already read it, so this is appropriate. Let me.
No, you don't know what this guy sounds like, so you're making up a voice for him. I mean, it's fine, but you don't have to read it in this voice. You're doing it for effect.
Let me just make that point clear right now. He was branded as this womanizing.
Oh, of course, it's a stereotypical gay voice. So I was right. The tweet is homophobic. It's homophobia, is what it is.
Here we go. He would. Oh. I have to read it in this voice because I've already read it, so this is appropriate. Let me just make that point clear right now. He was branded as this womanizing devil-may-care guy, but is that sexy these days? I don't think so. This version of Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings. Oh my God.
Why is that a problem? Why? So he's saying that from his point of view, that the character was a womanizing character. He doesn't find that to be sexy from his point of view, because it's his quote. And so he's approaching Johnny with a different, the vibe is different, right? I mean, are you arguing that Johnny should be a womanizer? That he shouldn't care about other people? He's a superhero. He's a superhero, so he should care about other people. So what he's saying is he's approaching the character in that way. So this faux outrage about Johnny Storm is just pathetic. It's like y'all are arguing for a character to be a piece of shit. You want him to portray the character as a piece of shit because that's how he sees it as the actor. That's how he's approaching it.
Like, what a freaking pussy. This is a dude that you want to be playing Johnny. Honestly, if I was a producer in Hollywood, I would say, like, you guys aren't allowed to do press anymore. You guys aren't allowed to open your mouth.
That's not what producers do. That's a public relations person.
No wonder Hollywood is going after, like, investing more in AI, because an AI simulated actor or actress isn't going to go on a press tour and basically, just set fire to your movie before.
So you're arguing that human beings should be replaced with AI because this person made a quote that you don't like. That's fucking ridiculous. That is so brain rotted. It's not even worth addressing. Like, I've talked about Anna before and how she says really dumb shit. There's a lot of people that defend her out there, and if you're friends with her, so be it. If you like her, so be it. This is dumb talk. This is dumb talk. And she still hasn't read the comment that Vanessa Kirby made. She read the headline. We're going to give her about another minute, and then we're going to read that comment because she's purposely not telling you what Vanessa said.
Before it even comes out, like, look at Rachel Zegler, look at Brie Larson. Like, this is happening time.
What is it? Brie Larson's movie was $1 billion movie. The one that you guys tried to tank, Captain Marvel, was $1 billion movie. She didn't say anything controversial before the Marvels. You guys want to claim victory to that. She didn't say anything controversial. All the controversial stuff that she said happened before Captain Marvel, the first movie, and it still made $1 billion. Y'all just keep coping with that.
In time again where these Hollywood nut jobs that...
So this person is a nut job. So Joseph Quinn and Vanessa Kirby are nut jobs, according to Anna. They are desperate. This smells of desperation. So fucking desperate. Just scraping every ounce of sludge out of the bottom of the fucking can. Because you have nothing else to be mad about. It's so obvious and pathetic that the dollars you get, the clicks you get on YouTube are worth you clowning yourself like this. It's pathetic.
Just get up on their high horse, on their soapbox, and they start preaching, and they're so out of touch with the reality, and especially
preaching. It's one quote in an interview from Entertainment Weekly. Where's the preaching? Where is preaching in the room with us right now?
These people that are pretending to be nerds or that are trying to, get...
You mean like you're pretending to be a Fantastic Four fan when clearly you're not. Clearly you know surface level shit about the Fantastic Four. It's obvious to me now at this point. Because Johnny Storm as a character isn't just a womanizing character. There's more to him, and I think Joseph wants to bring more to the screen. If you just think of Johnny as a hothead, sexist, womanizing character, you don't care about the Fantastic Four.
The nerd audience, the core audience that made these franchises what they are, and then they're trying to get them to come to the movie theater, but then they go and they say the exact opposite of what everyone wants to hear. Listen, you don't care about Johnny Storm. You don't. And it's fine. There's plenty of actors that don't know anything about the roles that they play.
It's so crazy to me that she is projecting onto this person. That's crazy to me. That's nut job behavior.
You just read the script and they show up and they're fantastic. Like Anthony Hopkins. He talks about how in his...
So we're comparing someone like Anthony Hopkins to Joseph Quinn. You don't even know who this guy is. You admitted you don't know who he is. So now you're clowning yourself again by trying to compare him to an actor, somebody of a caliber that is completely different from this. What kind of comparison is this? This is Dumbsville. This is Idiotsville.
Process, he doesn't do any research on the characters that he plays. If there's a book, he doesn't read it. Like, he says everything that he needs to know about the character that he's playing is in the script, and so that's what he is. And Anthony Hopkins is a fantastic actor.
So are you arguing for that or against that? Because I actually agree. I think that everything you need to know about your character should be in the script. It should be there. I agree with that. But here you're putting an unfair expectation a goalpost on this actor and all the other actors in this movie that they don't care about these characters because they don't know every little detail about them. They've not read all 5,000 issues of the Fantastic Four. So are you arguing for or against that? I can't tell. By the way, we're about ready to the point where I'm going to look at the Vanessa Kirby quote. Get ready for it.
Right? And so there are actors out there that are actually talented that, can
You don't know this guy.
and, basically embody those characters. I feel like that breed is dying out, though. There's no real talent in Hollywood. It's all about who you know.
Well, it's a good thing your feelings are subjective. It's a good thing that's the case, because clearly the people that put this movie together felt like he was a better fit for the job. And unless you're a casting director for this specific movie, then I don't think you know who would have been better for the role. You don't even know this guy. You haven't even seen him act in anything. And you're shitting all over him because he made one comment about the way he's approaching the character. It's fucking sad. It's pathetic. It's actually disgusting, to be honest.
Know now, and we got people like this who it's like, oh, I'm just going to take this, beloved franchise with these beloved characters, and hey, this one guy who used to play him and played him or try to embody the actual characteristics of the damn character. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the exact opposite because I care about.
So do you think that he wrote the script? Is that what you think here, Anna? You think that Joseph Quinn wrote the dialogue for his character, that he was the person that came up with the screenplay, and he designed this version of Johnny Storm for the movie? Is that what you're suggesting here? Because what Joseph is doing, he is taking his energy and then applying it into the script that was already written, that he's on screen reading the words for. So is your issue with him and his description of the way his character is different, or is it with the actual people who are making the movie? Which is it? Because he's the face of the character. So you're going after him because he's the one doing the interviews, not the writers, not the director here. It was him.
Women's feelings! Ah! Male feminist alert. And for those that don't know, I've had to deal with a lot of male feminists online. They are the absolute worst scum of the freaking world.
So now he's scum. Like, you keep talking shit about this person and you don't know anything about him. Let's take a look at Vanessa Kirby's comment, the one that she refuses to show, so we can read and see if it matches the headline that John F. Trent, the propagandist, actually posted on his website. So reading comprehension is really important. I'm going to read this quote to you and explain to you why their outrage is so completely misguided here. They completely miss the point of this and don't understand what the fuck she's talking about. So here's what Vanessa said. If you played an exact 60s Sue today, everyone would think she's a bit of a doormat. So figuring out how to capture the essence of what she represented to each generation, where the gender politics were different, and embody that today was one of the greatest joys of that. So let's comprehend what she's saying in this statement. She is saying that each generation, women have been perceived differently. However, she wants to hold on to the essence of Sue Storm, regardless of which generation she comes from, and embody that in this iteration of the character. That's what she's talking about. She's not out here spouting off some sort of feminist talking points or anything like that, the stuff that they would have you believe, because they have no reading comprehension. Actually, they might have some reading comprehension, because that's why Anna didn't show this when she was talking about it in her video. She showed the headline from John F. Trent. I also want to show a clip from Vanessa Kirby talking about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, where she talks about how women are perceived in media and how it was applied to this film that she was in, to show you that she isn't the type of person that they are framing her to be. Let's listen to this clip.
Powerful women in his Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, I think he's always been a champion of that. It's not a gendered thing, He just wants you to be who you are, and it's not about you being a woman. It's more just, oh, who are you, and how can you play with something fun, and how can you, push yourself in whatever realm that is.
So let me ask you, does that sound like somebody who's out here spewing a ton of feminist talking points? Does that sound like who Vanessa Kirby is, based on the quote from the actual interview that she did with EW and this video here where she's talking about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning? She doesn't seem like that kind of person. Whoever it is that Anna's trying to make her out to be. And all the disparaging remarks she made about Joseph Quinn, when literally knowing nothing about him other than the quote that he made about the version of Johnny Storm that was written for the movie and the lines that he was reading and how he was approaching the character. This is how we know that the Grift pipeline is drying up. As Jeremy Griggs said, and I quote, "We take one tiny thing," he said, actually, this is what we do. We take one tiny thing and then we create a narrative out of it. And that is exactly what's happening here. It happened when she showed the headline of the article without reading the actual quote, because she probably was afraid that some of the people in her audience were smart enough to figure out that it wasn't some outrageous feminist talking point, that she was talking about respecting the source material and doing that for every generation that has read Sue Storm. She probably figured out that would have been a bad thing. And then trying to frame Joseph Quinn as some sort of, with homophobia. Like these homophobic stereotypes she was talking about him and accusing him of being a male feminist and all these other things because of his quote. It is ridiculous. It's pathetic. It's disgusting, and it's outrageous. And it's exactly what we will see moving forward from these guys as the pipeline keeps drying up more and more and more, and some of these channels are struggling to turn a dollar. It's going to happen. This video and any video like this is proof that they have nothing to complain about, and now they are scraping, literally scraping the bottom of the barrel for outrage.